The fire type is among the most dominant offensive types and probably one of the all-time favorites amongst Pokemon players. With a lot of cool options to choose from and powerful stat spreads, the type finds itself to be on almost every single Pokemon player's team. But the question to be asked is, can they hold their own throughout the entire Pokémon Brick Bronze game? Which is why in today's video, we will be doing a full run using only fire types, alongside adding the hardcore Nuzlocke rules, where any Pokemon that faints is gone forever and no items can be used. So without further ado, I spawn in Midden's Town and head to the lab where I can select a whole bunch of options for fire types, and even though it was hard to decide on what I actually wanted, I figured I'd try something new, and I end up choosing Fennekin since the psychic typing it gains later can be very fun to use alongside its speed and power. And then I dash towards Route 1 where I can capture the second teammate, a fletchling that I name Birdie, though I cannot use it until it evolves into a Fletchinder. And once I'm in Cheshma Town, Linda steals my necklace and I run after her in Gale Forest, where Fennekin can just comfortably decimate her entire team with a couple embers. And then I run across the bridge towards Route 3 and eventually into Sylvan City, where I go inside this house to receive the free Eevee from the couple, and I can go ahead and challenge the first team leader, Chad. There wasn't much to be done here besides leading with Fennekin and spamming Ember, and Shinx was somewhat dangerous since the Charge Beam does do a lot of damage as well as getting the special attack buff, but I can finish it off before it threatens me any further. Then against this Pikachu, I hit with an Ember, getting it to below half HP as it cripples me with a Thunder Wave, and on the next turn it uses Charge Beam, which is a little to me, and Fennekin can finish it off with an Ember to earn the Arc Badge. Then on my way to Brimber City, there is another teammate that I can add to the team in the form of Litleo that I capture and name Tigery. And then Jake stops me by the entrance to the city for a quick battle before reaching Brimber City, where I go towards Route 6 and can find my fourth teammate, a Ponyta that I catch and name Pony.
Wow, you were so creative with that one.
Man, shut your...
And inside Mount Igneous, I find a Magby, which is actually a really good find inside this area since there is a way for this thing to help me with a lot of the fights ahead. So as I battle Team Eclipse members until I'm able to reach the admin, of which proves to be decent enough in the battle, I stop his plans and I'm able to access the second gym, where after training the team at the level cap of 25, I challenge Sebastian's fire types. I lead with Magby since I can pretty much click feint attacks on it repeatedly, but Litleo just blasts me with a critical hit overheat. And then my dumb sub just forgets that it knows takedown as well, so that just marks the end of Ducky's run. Trust me when I say I have never facepalmed this hard in my life, so I just send in Birdie and knock out the Litleo with a peck. Then when Growlithe is out, Birdie pretty much sits on it since with Roost and doing damage with peck, Growlithe just has virtually nothing to dish hard damage on me, so it too falls to a couple pecks. Finally was his Magmar, and while I do stay in with Birdie doing the whole Roost and Peck combination, the damage is pretty subpar, so what I end up doing is switching out to Braixen, but on the following turn it uses Flame Burst, which dishes hard damage, and Psybeam doesn't do as much as I thought it would. So I switch out into Tigery, and a Headbutt alongside a Farfang is enough to defeat Sebastian and earn the Brimstone badge. On my way through Route 7, I just breeze past the majority of the trainers here with Birdie, and I can challenge the Lumberjacks, though the last member is pretty scary since his B-Barrels no rollout and Warugan, and this one B-Barrel almost knocked out my Braixen, but luckily it ends up missing the rollout, so I really need to be careful with what my plays are, otherwise I'll just screw myself really hard. And then I can head towards Laguna Lake, where the hopes here are once I start diving, I find a couple Firestones, which ends up thankfully being the case since I do find two of them, and funnily enough in one wall. And then I head towards Route 8, where I just undergo a couple 2v2 battles with Jake before entering Rose Cove Beach, and some footage unfortunately corrupted here when I battled the Eclipse grunts, but they weren't really that troublesome at all. And once the blue orb is returned, I head towards the third gym where Braixen evolves into Delphox, and even during the corrupted part, Litleo evolved into Pyroar and Fletchinder evolved into Talonflame. And I can challenge Quitten's water types, with the plan for this battle is sort of doable, but I need some specific criteria to meet. I lead with Delphox and set up Light Screen to lower some of the incoming Scalds that may hit me hard, and as well more goals will roll out, I made sure Delphox learned Grass Knot so that it can get the clean kill on it. Then once Gorbis is out, I wasn't sure how much Grass Knot would do, so I went for the safe play and hit Psyshock, which doesn't do health damage, but Gorbis just keeps on using Draining Kiss, so it falls shortly after. Then once Huntail is out, I click my last Psyshock on it, which deals health against it, which it retaliates with a nasty Scald on me, and I was scared Grass Knot won't kill it here, but I end up using the move and it actually gets the kill to earn me the float badge. As I head towards Route 9, Jake and Tess wants to battle me and Delphox just absolutely has zero chill with everything there, and then I make my way towards the manor where I have two options here that I can capture, a Litwick and a Rotom. And there is a pretty clear choice on what I'm going to catch, so I go ahead and solve the puzzle for Rotom, and once I find it, I catch it and name it Avani. So as I make my way through Route 10, Pony evolves into Rapidash, and I navigate through the mines until the peaks, and soon after Anthean City, where once I talk to Gerald, I go towards the gym, and after leveling up the squad, the plan is pretty simple as long as I don't miss. I lead with Rotom against this Staraptor as it hits me with an aerial ace, and I use Charge Beam which misses. And on the second turn, after I eat a dirty close combat, I can finish off the Staraptor with a Charge Beam that also gets the special attack boost, and once Skarmory comes out, what I do here is set up a substitute so as to be better positioned against his incoming Aerodactyl, and I can also knock out the Skarmory with more Charge Beams that gets me to +3 special attack, while also retaining my substitute, to which once Aerodactyl is out, one Charge Beam is enough for the kill, although when I try to finish off the Staraptor as well, Charge Beam misses, and I get Whirlwinded away into my weak Growlithe, which forces me to hard switch into Rapidash, but it also gets Whirlwinded away after it hits a soft Flame Wheel, and thankfully, Pyro is the one coming out finishing the job with a Flamethrower. So all that's left is Braviary, and expecting a superpower here, I try to make the switch into Delphox, but it ends up using Crush Claw, which would have cost me gravely if it got a crit there, and I end up hard switching again into Talonflame from a superpower, which after 2 acrobatics is enough to defeat Steven for the Soaring badge. Just before I meet Tess in the sewers and engage in some pretty easy 2v2 battles, I can quickly evolve Growlithe into Arcanine, and I go around the area until I find Jake held captive. Cypress sends me to a battle where Absol actually doesn't detect twice in a row successfully and I can kill it. I swap into Delphox, and prior to the battle, I made a quick stop to the Battle Coliseum to teach it Calm Mind, which is super important if I want to get past Cypress easily. And then I set up 2 Calm Minds against Venusaur without getting status by Poison or Sleep, and sweep the rest of his team with ease. And once I finish stopping the Bomber from doing his business, I can make my way towards the peaks and downwards to Route 11, where I run around for a good while in order to encounter my next and arguably super important teammate, a Capsakid that I catch and name Chili, which I immediately use a Firestone on it to evolve into a Scovillain. And then after making it to Iridia City, more specifically into the ruins, I rescue the prince from the bad guys, and I gain access to the ground gym where I can fight the prince. I lead with Scovillain, and the plan of action here is to use Sunny Day to activate Chlorophyll, while also setting up with Growth to exceptional heights in order to decimate the gym easily. Although before Quagsire dies, it does hit me with a Bulldoze, leaving me at just a +1 buff to speed, and then the incoming Steelix survives on 1 HP with Sturdy, and also hits me with a Bulldoze, getting me back to my original speed. And even though I am also able to defeat the incoming Claydol with Giga Drain, I'm not confident in Scovillain risking a Poison Jab from this Excadrill, so I switch out into Rotom Heat and can finish off the Excadrill safely with an Overheat. Lastly was his Mega Garchomp, which I switch out into Talonflame, trying to fish for a Flame Body Burn, but Garchomp does hit me dangerously hard, so I just keep on roost healing until it actually gets burned, which it ends up happening, and I can safely spam Acrobatics until Garchomp goes down for a well-fought Crater badge. As I navigate my way through Route 12, I can find my next and probably final teammate for the run, a Houndour that I capture and name Devilee. And just as I enter Route 13, I can evolve it into a Houndoom, and it's not so long before I'm able to reach Floroma City, where I waste no time into dashing to the 6th gym, since it's a grass gym, and let my fire types just spam to their heart's desire their fire moves. Maybe they should call me an arsonist after this video. And in the case of Fizzy, I just let Talonflame spam acrobatics and flame charges enough that his entire team just gets devoured for an easy harvest badge. As Tess gives me the Rock Climb HM and allows me to navigate through Route 14, Team Eclipse meets me at the entrance of Route 15 where they all battle me and it goes quite smoothly. And once I enter the route, I make my way through the snowy mountain until I reach Frostvale City, where as per usual, after getting the squad leveled up to 74, more specifically focusing on Houndoom, which is the key to winning this gym, I head towards the gym and challenge Zeke's Dark types. What I need at least here is to set up a nasty plot without getting confused or hit for super hard damage, and thankfully that's not the case as Drill Pack still keeps me above 50% health, and I can flamethrower my way through half of Zeke's team besides this Umbreon that does survive and lands a Confuse Ray. But luckily, Houndoom does not hit itself at all, neither the next turn as well, though once his Houndoom is also out, I hit a Sludge Bomb as it retaliates with an Inferno, and I make the switch into Talonflame since I'm faster and I pretty much survive anything it has to offer, allowing me to defeat it with an Acrobatics to earn the Contrast badge. Just before I head to the next area, Tess stops me for a battle and all I pretty much do is set up one nasty plot after Mega Evolving and I can just click Dark Pulse on everything that Tess owns. And I can make my way downwards the slide until I reach Cosmos Valley and then inside Port Deca, where Brad gives me the Surf HM and I can navigate my way through Route 17 until I reach Crescent Town, where after I find the Team Eclipse base, my infiltration begins and I can unlock access towards where my parents are held captive, and just before I rescue them, I'm challenged by Jake, which goes just the same way it went last time, though Houndoom mostly did the work. And I run towards Route 18, navigating my way until I reach the Demon's Tomb. As Cypress discusses his evil plan, I'm forced to battle him, and I lead with Cove Villain against his Greninja and can recover all the damage dealt to me with a one-shot Giga Drain. Then once his Decidueye is out, what I end up doing is switching to Houndoom, getting hit by a Steel Ring in the process, and once I Mega Evolve and use Nasty Plot, I get hit by a Brave Bird, though I do take a gamble on whether it will go for it again or not. I end up setting up another Nasty Plot as it goes for Steel Wing, which misses, and I can just knock out the Decidueye next turn with a Dark Pulse. Then once his Incineroar is out, it falls to a singular Sludge Bomb, although when Empoleon is out, it does give me the scare when I see it use Aqua Jet, but Houndoom can just survive at just 6 HP and kill the Empoleon with Flamethrower, alongside his incoming Sceptile, and his Charizard X is outsped and defeated with a single Dark Pulse. As he laments on Hoopa, Jake also sacrifices himself in the process, and I just destroy the Hoopa with one Acrobatics. So once I am teleported back to my parents' home, one last hurdle is ahead of me from defeating this entire run, and that is Captain B and her ghost types. But I think everyone can guess exactly what I have to do for this one battle, so I lead with Houndoom and Mega Evolve it, set up one nasty plot as Gengar chooses to go for Destiny Bond, meaning I have to click on another nasty plot here, and once I am hit by a very weak Hex, all it takes is just flamethrowers and dark pulses across every single teammate she has to not only earn the Haunted badge, but complete a Pokémon Brick Bronze Hardcore Nuzlocke using only fire types. I haven't had this much fun running a type for Nuzlocke than the fire types, especially since there were so many good diverse dual types I could use, and I'm sure this was enough reasoning as to why the type is one of the all-time best. If you guys reached this far into the video, why not drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more Nuzlockes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.